Hello students, we are hoping that the following session will provide you with information that will be helpful for you as you complete your practicum during these unprecedented and challenging times. The most important thing to consider while completing your practicum is your safety and the safety of your family and loved ones, as well as those you will encounter during your practicum, whether that be your colleagues or clients or consumers at your practicum setting. One important thing to keep in mind is to follow the safety protocols in place at your agency. Each agency will be slightly different, but ensure you clearly understand the protocols that are put in place. Examples include a daily screening tool, temperature checks, wearing face masks, or PPE protocols. Also make sure to be aware of the current public health guidelines that are in place in your jurisdiction. The most up-to-date information for Newfoundland and Labrador can be found at www.gov.nl.ca/COVID-19. Another very important thing to know is that if you feel that your agency is not following public health guidelines, speak to your field instructor as soon as possible. You can also contact your field liaison at any time with your concerns. In regards to contact tracing, please follow your agency's protocols for this if you have them in place. If they do not, we suggest to you that you keep track of your contacts in your daily logs. When keeping track of your contacts, please keep in mind the importance of confidentiality and privacy. Prior to starting your practicum, we ask that you complete the MUN COVID-19 awareness training that is available through Brightspace. It will take less than 30 minutes, and the training covers information about what the disease is, how it can spread, symptoms, and what to do if you have them, and prevention of spreading the disease, such as physical distancing, hand hygiene, and wearing face masks. The training also covers how students can obtain mental health support and resources. As this is a general orientation completed by students, faculty, and staff of Memorial, there may be some information that may not be relevant to your practicum. Most of the information can be generalized to your practicum setting. However, the training mentions using a MUN COVID-19 daily self-assessment tool. You will not have to complete this particular form during your practicum. However, your agency may have similar protocols in place, and we ask that you follow the protocols in place at your agency. You can register at the link listed here, which is www.mun.ca/health_safety/training. You would then log in with your Memorial login credentials, which are the same as you use for my.mun.ca. The MUN COVID-19 awareness training is mandatory and must be completed prior to starting your practicum. Once you have completed the training, please submit a certificate of completion to Lisa Muse at lmuse@mun.ca. Throughout your practicum, there may be periods of time when you will have to work remotely. The Office of the Chief Information Officer at MUN provides a number of helpful things to consider below. When working remotely, we still have an obligation to maintain privacy. One consideration is to use the agency recommended tools and platforms for working remotely. For example, your agency may recommend using WebEx or Zoom. Also, use the email account recommended by your agency. They may provide you with an organization email, so use this email instead of your personal email for anything related to your agency. Another thing to keep in mind is using password-protected devices such as USBs and laptops, and avoid using CDs and DVDs to store information, as they can get lost or copied. Also, when you are done your practicum, remove any agency information from your personal devices when you are no longer using them. Some examples are storage devices, laptops, or hard drives. Below are some additional privacy considerations to keep in mind when working remotely. If you have a phone call or video conference, please ensure that practicum setting discussion about confidential matters are not overheard by people not authorized to hear the information. So that could be roommates or family members. Also, keep agency records in paper and hard copy out of view of others not authorized to view them. Ideally, don't have hard copies at home or have a file or box to keep them secure. Any confidential information you have must be disposed securely, so please retain these documents in a safe place until you can dispose of them based on your agency's policies. Throughout your practicum, technology will be an integral component of your practicum experience, even more so during the pandemic. The NLASW standards for technology use in social work practice may be a helpful resource for you that was developed to support social workers in their use of technology in social work practice, as well as highlight awareness of the practice considerations and ethical responsibilities when using technology in practice. The standards are also used to inform social workers, employers, and the public on best practice standards for social work. Please read this helpful document at the beginning of your practicum. These standards will be helpful to reflect upon with your field instructor during field instruction. An explanatory document of the standards can be found on the NLASW Practice Resource webpage. If you are completing your practicum outside of Newfoundland and Labrador, please become familiar with the standards of technology use in social work practice for your jurisdiction. For the NLASW standards for technology use in social work practice, the first standard states, technology use in social work practice is grounded in the values, ethics, and principles of the social work profession. Standard 2 states, social workers ensure proficiency in the use of technology in the workplace and practice within their competency, while continuing to enhance their knowledge, skills, and abilities. Standard 3 states, as part of the informed consent process, social workers inform clients about technologies that are being used in the delivery of social work services, including the inherent risks and opportunities. Standard 4 states social workers document all electronic communications in keeping with agency and organizational policies, ethical standards, and best practice guidelines. Standard 5 states social workers have a responsibility to be aware of the interjurisdictional issues when providing therapy or social work services using electronic technologies. For example, online counseling, online support groups, video conferencing, etc. Standard 6 states social workers who use technological approaches to conduct social work research or to gather information or research to inform practice do so in a manner that ensures ethical credibility. Standard 7 states social workers consider issues relating to conflicts of interest, dual and multiple relationships, and boundaries as it pertains to the use of technology in practice. Standard 8 states social workers use technology to advance social justice issues, engage in advocacy efforts, and or participate in political action, adhere to values and principles of social work profession. If there are any major changes to your practicum due to COVID-19, please let your field liaison know immediately. For example, if there's a second wave of COVID-19 and your agency moves to only remote service delivery, or if your agency is only able to provide field instruction remotely, or if there is no PPE available for students, or if you and your field instructor had to self-isolate. The field team is prepared to support you and your field instructor and agency mentor in the completion of your field practicum requirements wherever possible. Throughout your practicum, there are a number of supports available to help you deal with these challenging times. The field team have compiled a list of questions and answers that will hopefully answer any questions you may have regarding completing a practicum during a pandemic. The document is called Social Work Field Practicum COVID-19 Information Questions and Answers. It can be found on the Field Education website. If you have any additional questions, please let the field team or your field instructor know. Check back periodically since the document will be updated as we get additional questions. The NLASW has a number of helpful COVID-19 related resources that are updated regularly. Completing a practicum can sometimes be stressful, certainly with the added challenges of a pandemic. The Student Wellness and Counseling Center at MUN is still available to you with online and phone-based mental health and wellness support. Your field instructor can also be an excellent resource for you, and always remember that the field team is here for you. Don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions or concerns.